After watching this video, you will know with absolute clarity, with no doubts whatsoever, what makes a good Hindu and a bad Hindu. But you will also have a practical way to quickly transform yourself and make yourself more and more of a good Hindu every single day. It's very simple, and let's get into it, right? So there are three guys, right? They die and they go meet God, right? And they're talking to God, and God tells them, you three have lived the exact same life. You've performed the same actions, you've done the same jobs, you've had the same family, and you've done puja the same way. You went to the mandir, you did your mantras the same way. Everything, you did your rituals, everything the exact same way. In a story, this is a story, and this can happen in a story, okay? So, but then God tells person number one, you're going to be reborn, but in a bad family and with a lot of bad karma. He tells the second person, you're going to be reborn, but in a really good family, and you're going to have a lot of good karma. And God tells the third person, you've done so well, you've followed everything that I've said in the scriptures, you've followed my words the best you could. So I want you to stay here with me, next to me for eternity, right? And now they look at each other, they're like, what? We did the exact same thing. How can three people have three different outcomes when they've done the exact same thing? That's exactly what we're going to cover today, okay? And we're going to look at it through the lens of yajna, okay? Yajna means what? Means sacrifice. In the scriptures, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells you to perform sacrifices, right? But there are three levels of sacrifice, okay? You have, let's say, a sacrifice that has a tamasic quality to it. There's a sacrifice that it has a rajasic quality, and there's a kind of sacrifice that has a sattvic quality to it, right? And let's look at karma as well, okay? You have vikarma, okay, bad karma. You have sukarma, good karma, and you have akarma, okay? The kind of actions that produce no new karma and actually can burn all karma, okay? So these three qualities, even though they could be the same actions, right? You could do the same sacrifice, but if you have an intention of, you have hatred in your heart when you're doing it, you're angry, you're bitter, this will be of a tamasic quality, right? Which will, let's say, produce vikarma, bad karma. You might have good intentions, but it is of a nature of transactional, right? It's like you're making a transaction with God when you're doing a sacrifice. You're saying, oh, what will I get from this, right? Or I hope people see this and they give me praise, right? So there's an intention, there's a selfish transactional nature of I want something to be received, right? Even though you have good intentions. So that might create some good karma, right? But there's still like a transactional nature. And then you have the sattvic quality, which is doing your duty, understanding that, okay, I was blessed by God, right? I was blessed to have food, to have shelter, to have a good job, to earn enough for my family to survive, right? So I understand it is my duty, it is my dharma, it is my responsibility to just give, right? With no intentions, because it is the will of God, it is God's desire, and it is for the pleasure, for the satisfaction of God. I don't want anything else other than that, right? So then that will, let's say, generate no karma because it is with the purest of intentions, right? So I'm sure you caught that. The difference, even though all these three yajnas, right, are performed the same actions, the same sacrifice, it is the intention behind it, okay? This is people tell you that there's no magic pill. Hinduism tells you there is absolutely a magic pill, at least when it comes to being a good person, a good Hindu. It depends on your intention, your sankalpa, okay? There might be many words that people use, right? They might use bhava or chetan, right? So these are different qualities, right? So bhava will be more if you're doing a prayer and it's like with a lot of feeling, with a lot of devotion to God, right? And it is a clean, pure devotion where it's just love offered to God with no expectation of return, just because you understand it is for the pleasure of God himself, right? And so sankalpa will be more, let's say when you're doing like practices, right? Maybe chanting or something. There are very subtle differences, but for the matter of this video though, it is to understand that it is the intention behind your actions that decides whether you're generating good karma or you're generating akarma, no karma at all, and God is completely satisfied with you because you're performing your duty. You're performing dharmic actions with no expectations of reward. And that is the highest quality of work, right? Buddhi Yoga. What is Buddhi Yoga? Buddhi Yoga is the kind of actions, the kind of intentions that if performed for a long time you will reach samadhi, okay? What is samadhi? Samadhi, liberation, right? Liberation, enlightenment, moksha. This is through Buddhi Yoga. And what is the definition of Buddhi Yoga? Buddhi Yoga is knowledge plus selfless action. Okay? So, working in knowledge and no attachment to the fruits of your actions is Buddhi Yoga. And the result of Buddhi Yoga is samadhi. It is enlightenment. It is liberation. It is connection with God, right? And all of that starts with what? Your intention. Your intention, okay? If you look at, let's say, two people write comments in below, right? One person will write a comment that appears negative, but he's providing feedback, right? He's saying, oh, for me, like, let's say I say right all the time, right? Or I say okay too much, right? But the intention might be like, oh, I'm providing good feedback, right? I'm wanting you to improve. And then you might have a second person that says, oh, thank you, you're so amazing. But deep inside, they're jealous and they're angry at me or something, right? Because they I don't know, you know what I mean? So it is always not necessarily your action, but your intention behind the actions, right? Because karma is sometimes misperceived as good actions get good rewards, right? But it is also good intentions, because you can have a good action, but a bad intention behind that good action. Anyway, I'm rambling now, but I hope this video made you a little more aware as a Hindu, and now you understand. You have, without no doubt, can decide right now whether you're being a good person or you're generating bad karma, okay? It is all by diagnosing, analyzing with awareness. What is the intention behind this? Am I trying to get something? Am I trying to do this because I'm wanting something in return? Or is there hate in my heart? Is there anger and bitterness in my heart when I'm doing this action? Or is it, I really just in love with life, I'm grateful to God, and I want to offer this action as a sacrifice for His enjoyment, okay? Namaste. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.